right, good morning. Hope you guys are okay. This is just a brief something, so to speak, to walk you guys through the process as to because I've been receiving so many calls as it pertains to the diversity visa and what is the purpose of the diversity visa. The diversity visa, just a brief background, it's just for those who wish to migrate to the US, but don't have anybody to petition for them or whatever. They can do that by themselves by applying, sorry, taking a chance by applying for the diversity visa. You can share and have your relatives get a step by step process right here, right now. The process is very easy. It is not tedious. Some of you may panic, but it is very easy. So do share the link, share the information with your friends and your relatives, just so that you guys know the deadline is today. Today happens to be the deadline. And let me just walk you guys through the process. Um, you have to be 21 and over. I believe that's the age. Even if you're married and you fill the application out, you'll have to include your spouse. You have to be legally married. Legally married. If you have children, you'll have to include them as well. You have to, before you start the process, you have to ensure that you have a passport size photograph for all of this, a passport size photograph. So let me take you through at least, give you 30 seconds while you share the link and have some of your folks who are interested in the diversity visa for 2025. It ends today. Today is the final day. You've got to try it in terms of if you have any interest in taking a chance, that is. And once you get through, it simply means that they will start the process to give you what is called an immigrant visa, your green card, permanent residence, as it is called now. You get that opportunity. It's a lottery. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody tell you that they know a way that you can get through. Nobody knows a way that you can get through. It's a lottery, and it's done by the U.S. Immigration or the State Department. That's how it's done, and it's open for anyone um, who is qualified. And now, if you are in the U.S. and you are under questionable circumstances, meaning that you're out of status. Usually they say out of status. Back in the day, we probably say illegal, but now they say out of status. If you are out of status, you could still take that chance if you wish, but obviously they would know that you're out of status. And I think that's where the doors will be shut. But with immigration law, every day a new door is open. You know, it's like a little pond of water that is running. It keeps running. Almost every day something changes. Either the fees change, either they raise the fees, or they discontinue with the fees, or something or the other. So that is why sometimes it appears immigration law, it appears a bit complex. That is because things do change on a daily basis. We'll touch on that some probably later down in the program, but specifically, I'm here because I know that I made a post a couple days ago, promised 20 or 25 persons that I will do their applications for free. Um, I have gotten dozens upon dozens of messages. Um, Quite a lot of folks have already been processed. They've gone through the application process, and I wish those individuals well. We're doing it pro bono for them. Let me just make it clear that with regards to the passport size photo, that has been a bit of a difficulty. And in this brief video that you will see, it will walk you through the entire process. Take your time, try it. If you do desire in migrating to the US, getting your green card, give it a shot. Everybody wants an opportunity at some point in time. However, if you have a pending petition, meaning if someone in the US filed for you, either a spouse or either some family-based, well, spouse is also family-based, and you have a pending petition, my opinion that maybe you shouldn't go and file this application. That's just my opinion, mind you. I'm giving you my opinion. The final decision is up to you guys to decide on whether you want to move forward or not. But take a look at this brief video, and I'll be right back with you guys shortly. But it is important because it takes you through this very simple process of applying and giving yourself or yourselves that opportunity, and your family an opportunity to head over to the US with a green card. Once you are accepted, then there's another process. You'll have to be interviewed by the local embassy there in Guyana or whichever country. This is not just for Guyana, it's worldwide. Countries that are allowed to have their citizens apply. And Guyana is included. Guyanese in Guyana, or even if you're outside of Guyana, in Antigua or wherever, you can still apply. But again, I wish to reiterate, if you are in the US and you're out of status, meaning if you're illegal, if you're out of status, be very careful as you apply. But that I'm not going to say nobody can't apply. You shouldn't, and that's not what this program is all about. It's to have you dig in and do some more research and make that final decision on your own. Let's go to this brief video, and it will walk you through this very simple process on how to apply for the visa lottery, which will give you guys an opportunity. For those of you who wish to migrate to the US, it will give you an opportunity to put your names, register your names through the application. And as of May 4th of next year, the 4th of May of next year, you can start checking to see if you get through or not. And you have months upon months you can check to see whether you've gotten through or not. So let's go to this brief video, and I hope it's going to be informative for you, and I hope it answers the kind of questions that some of you have in mind. And it will show you how to send off your application. Here we go.
This is a step-by-step process to apply for diversity visa program. So to apply for a DV, simply visit the website dvprogram.state.gov. Here are all the details to apply for the DV program. Anyway, let's first check our photo. See examples here. So your photo needs to look like this. And here are all the details. Make sure the photo is sharp and good quality. Size and position, make sure your photo size is 600 by 600 pixels and is more than 54 KB. You can also use this photo tool to crop the image to the right size. Anyway, after this is done, click on Begin Entry, enter the CAPTCHA, submit, and fill the basic details. Your last name, first name, don't have a middle name, choose a gender, add your birth details, city you were born, only the city name. If you do not know, take it here. Country where you were born, country of eligibility, applying from the same country I was born. Upload your photo and a mailing address, or you can also use a PO box in care of the name of a person who can receive this mail on your behalf, but it is optional. Write your address or PO box, city, district, country, province, postal code, or tick no postal code, country, where you live today, phone number, email address, your highest level of education, marital status, and a number of children. Now recheck all the details as it is very important to provide the correct information. After verification, simply click Submit. So you have successfully applied for the DV program. And here is the confirmation number that will be needed to check the DV result. It is highly recommended to print this page. So this is how you can apply for DV, and you do not need any third person or pay to submit DV application. The chances.
All right, welcome back. That's just giving you a brief rundown as to how you can do it. The process is very simple. I noticed that there is someone who said that and Stephanie Fraser saying, I need more information about it. Now, information is easy access. If you go on I believe I saw something on the US Embassy's website, all the information that you need to know, it's there. And ensure that you read up on all of the information, and the final decision that you will make as to whether you wish to apply or not for the diversity visa, it's up to you. The more information that you gather, the better equipped you will be in making a sound decision as to whether you wish to apply or not. This brief program is not to tell you guys that you should apply, but to show you the simple way, in the event that you so choose to apply, that your final decision is to apply. I've just basically given you a little bit of tips as to how easy the application process is. Now, and I've had some questions with regards to if persons are about to apply for a visitor's visa, whether this application will affect them or not. It does on the website of the Department of State. It does advise that maybe if you are going to be applying for a visitor's visa anytime soon, maybe you would want to concentrate on the visitor's visa application and not necessarily go ahead and fill out this lottery application. But again, the final decision is yours. Because in breaking it down, let's say if you apply for, you are about to apply for a visitor's visa, and then the question, have anybody ever applied or petitioned for you to go to America? Because there's that little box there. You will have to be honest at all times, because sometimes when you think that the folks don't know what's going on, you might be surprised. They do know, and that's why at all times you've got to be truthful. And let us just say, for as an example, that you apply for this lottery visa, diversity visa program, the lottery, and you go in for your visitor's visa. You have an application, you have a date, you go in, and they are aware that you have applied for this lottery here. Then, mind you, again, this is just my opinion, then the impression might be that you want to migrate and not return. And whenever you're going in for a visitor's visa, you want to be able to ensure that you present sufficient evidence to prove your case that you will return to Guyana. And you don't want, as much as you can avoid any obstacle in getting a fair chance in acquiring a shot at your US visa. You want to eliminate things that will basically cause you to be rejected. And in my opinion, what may cause you to be rejected is if they see that there's an intent, there's this intention to stay where you are, to reside where you're heading for a vacation. Again, this is just my opinion on the matter. All decisions is up to you. It is your choice. But back to the lottery visa. If you are unsure of what it's about, do some more research on the matter. It's very simple. Just go on the diversity visa, just type in US Diversity Visa 2025, and they will give you all the information that you need. And once you read up on all of the information, the final decision is up to you, guys. It's up to you. I see they got some question here. I noticed that there's a question, well, not really a question. Ola Sumba, they say, yes, click submit. Many more submitting to follow. You must improve the country so people want to stay. And well, that's a good thing. But even if countries that are improved, people still want to travel. People want to see outside, and I don't blame folks who want to take a vacation outside of Guyana. And I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Alasamba. I get your point with regards to the country, the state of affairs, and so forth. And people want to stay. People want to not necessarily stay all of their lives. People love to travel. People love to go places, and we can't fault people for that. We all do love to travel whenever we can afford to, and we can't blame others who wish to do the same. Let me see here. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to, this is just about the visa lottery, right? And this is not where I am encouraging everybody to go and apply. If this is what you want to do, go right ahead. We're just basically to show you that the process is very simple. Now, Yadelka Garcia is asking, what if the person already has a visitor visa? Can they still apply? Again, if you have a visitor's visa or you don't have a visitor's visa, the final decision as to whether to apply or not, it's up to you. But the application is open for everyone, every person who is qualified. And to be direct with your question, if you have a visitor's visa, nothing is stopping you from applying. It wouldn't affect, in my opinion, if I had a visitor's visa and I wanted to take a shot at getting a green card, I would have applied. That's just my opinion. It's basically up to the individual. Case by case, it's up to you whether you want to apply or not. I noticed Rhonda Daniels Chance is saying, is it for permanent residency? Yes, it is for permanent residency. And how does it work? Once you apply, and let's say in the case of Rhonda Daniels Chance, you have your husband. You fill out the application. The first page, it will be about you, the applicant. And it's very simple. Very, very simple. Let's go through the process again. You have to have a proper photograph. That's for one. You have to have a proper, and they show you how you can get a proper photograph. A lot of the folks, because I've been inundated with phone calls and messages and so forth, and it was really too much. I don't have a secretary. I'm not here to complain, but it was really too much. That is why I'm doing this program, so that others can get a better understanding and to know that they can also do it themselves. In less than 2 minutes, it's done. It's finished with the application. But you have to have the exact kind of photograph that they're looking for. Once you have that, and it tells you everything on the website, it tells you everything. Once you have the proper photograph, then you go and you click begin. You see that begin entry, you just click on that. If you want other stuff, like, for example, the DV, and DV stands for Diversity Visa 2025 instructions, you can click on that. And it tells you exactly what and what. You may be disqualified for not completing the entry form correctly or by submitting more than one entry. So you cannot apply more than once, otherwise you will be disqualified. That's it. You can click on DV 2025 instructions and you get all your answers there. If you have problems with your photo, you can click on photo examples. They will walk you through that process. Once you're satisfied that this is the route that you need to go, that yes, you want to apply for that visa, that lottery visa, which will give you a chance for your permanent residency, also known as green card. And I hope that answers your question, Mrs. Daniels Chance. So once you click on begin entry, it simply means that you are ready for the process. And when you are ready for the process, it means that you discussed it with your husband. If you have a spouse, that is, a legal spouse. You cannot like live home or my boyfriend and me gonna apply to. It doesn't work like that. You've got to be legally married. And so once you finish with your application, it takes you to the next page. Once they accept your photograph, it's got to be a passport size photo. It can be a photo of you posing like this, because I've had some folks send photos like this, photos like this. That's not passport size photograph. And I'm not kidding around. There are some folks who said, and they took a photo with a light on their face and a big light here, and just make sure that it is proper. You guys get the message. And once you click on begin and you fill that application out, let's say, for example, Brenda Casey. Brenda is married. Just an example, Brenda. Don't think of Brenda. Once you are married, that's just an example, Brenda. Don't get on my case, Brenda. And you click begin entry, Brenda Casey will fill out her portion. And what is her portion? We'll get to that. And again, for those who might be interested, share the link with others, please, so that they can get a better understanding as to how this works. So once you click on the page to start the application process, you got to put these letters or numbers as you see it here. And then you click submit. Once you click on submit, it will take you right to the application page. And when you reach the application page, it simply means, look, it's time to start. You put your last name, you put your first name. They have some people in Guyana, you might be surprised, they just have a last name. They don't have no first name. They don't have no middle name. But let us say, for example, if somebody's name is just Narain, that's just an example, or KC, and there's no first name, you have to click on this no first name box. If you have, no first name, if you have a first name, you put your last name, you put your first name. But if you do not have a middle name, you have to click on that no middle name box. Then when it reached the gender, like I recall, I asked, because if you're filling the application out for someone, all of the questions, I repeat, all of the questions have to be answered by the applicant. You cannot assume. But I do know that there are some applications that have, when it comes to gender, they have male, they have female, or you do not wish to be recognized, or so forth. They do have applications like that. Whenever I fill out an application for someone, or I assist someone in filling out an application, it doesn't matter what the question is. I ask all of the questions. And so a couple of times I asked a couple of folks who wanted me to assist them with this application. I asked, what's your gender? They simply turn and ask me, what do I mean by agenda? If they have an agenda. No, what's your gender simply means, what is your sex? Male or female? Even if I'm speaking with a male, I still ask, what is your sex? Even though I already know, I am not going to assume. You tell me, okay? You're a male, you click on the male box. You're a female, you click on the female box, and you move on. I say that with a little bit of humor, but those things do arise, those sort of questions. Now, the month that you were born. If you're born in, like for me, September, it's 09. The day, 08. And the year that you were born, in my case, 1999. So you put the full year, 1999, or whatever year that you were born, and the day and the month. All of these boxes, I repeat, all of these boxes have to be filled out. Every single one of them have to be filled out. And then you go to where were you born, and you click on the city. If you're born in Georgetown, you put Georgetown. Linden, you put Linden. Berbice, you put Berbice, or New Amsterdam. If you don't know where you were born, just click birth city unknown. You have to. If you don't know, you have to click on that box. Otherwise, your application is going to be rejected. And then the country where you were born. In this case, you were born in Guyana. Country of eligibility, that is Guyana. Your country of eligibility, are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you were born? You click on yes in most of the folks' cases. And then now you go to this part where you have to submit your photograph. You click on choose photo. Once you click on choose photo, it is almost bingo for you. Choose photo. You click on that and you ensure that you click on the photo, and it should, once it's the correct sort of photo, it should be ready to accept. Then you go to your address and so forth in Guyana. You just click no postal code. And in terms of district, probably Demerara, Georgetown, Demerara. Just put that, and that should be. Then the country, Guyana, of course. Where do you live? If you live in Guyana, of course, you put Guyana. And then your phone number. And your email address. You must have that. Your phone number is not, if you don't have a phone number, is okay, but it's always good to have a phone number. In the event that you are selected, then they'll know how to make contact with you. But you have to have an email address. Otherwise, how are they going to get in touch with you? Right? And so you, what school, your highest level of education? As you can see here, always read the fine print. It says you must have a minimum of high school diploma reflecting the completion of a full course of study. Vocation schools or equivalency degrees are not acceptable, or be a skilled worker in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of training experience to qualify. And to see if your occupation qualifies for, click on that link. You can always, everything is self-explanatory. Okay, so if you finish high school, just put high school or no degree. But in this case, they're looking for high school with degree. But even if you have some high school with no degree, you could still take a chance. You never know. If you have some university courses, yes, click that. University degree, yes, click that. But even if you are about to graduate from university and you haven't yet graduated, please do not put graduate, because you have not yet officially graduate. Just put some university degree. Once that is completed, okay, let's go. You have to put, and this is where, yeah. What is your current marital status? Your current marital status is, of course, whether you are married or not. And let's go back to that part, because I know some folks who got into a little bit of problems, mind you, by just put that they're living home. And living home is, you got to be very careful with that. Okay, so just bear with me a second. It says if you're unmarried, in this case with some of you, probably Miss Garcia might put unmarried, Janice Booker might put unmarried. I'll get to your question, Sidel Fraser, shortly. So let's go to this. If you're not married, put unmarried. If you are married and my spouse is not a U.S. citizen or U.S. permanent resident, that is a green card, LPR, legal lawful permanent residence. That's a green card, mind you. So if you are married and your spouse is not a U.S. citizen or a U.S. lawful permanent resident, click on that one. That is only if you're legally married. If you're legally married and your spouse is a U.S. resident or a U.S. citizen, only if, don't make that error. If your husband live in Hugu Bagdam and never went to America, he's not a lawful permanent resident, he's not a U.S. citizen, don't click this here. Good. If you're divorced, click divorced. If you're widowed, click widowed. If you are married but legally separated, click on that box as well. You've got to be very, very honest with them. Because if you do, let's say that you do get through and you get that opportunity to be interviewed by the local embassy, you will have to be upfront. Do not have 3 and 4 kids and put no, you don't have any kids. Because when you go in for that interview, you can't change your mind and say you have 4 kids now. Tell the truth at all times. Tell the truth. Now, let's go to kids now. How many kids do you have? In the Booker's case, like for example, Janice Booker's might have to put about 10 or 12. It doesn't matter. Put the kids, put their names. And I say Janice Booker and so forth. Many folks know the Bookers them from Buxton, 8, 9, 10, 12 kids. Kudos to them. It's a blessing. Kids are always a blessing. So you put the amount of kids. If you have no kids, you put no kids. If you're not married, of course, and you put unmarried, you put no kids. Then when you click continue, you go to the next page is to review all of the information that you put. All of the information. Review it to ensure that everything is correct. And once you are satisfied that everything is correct, you click the submit button. But let's get back to the number of kids. If you have 2 kids, 2 children, you have to put 2 there. Children include all biological children, legally adopted children, and stepchildren who are unmarried and under the age of 21. Now, let me explain that part for you. Stepchildren are children who, for example, if you're a man and you're married and your wife has 2 kids, if your wife has 2 kids, one named Marvin and the other one named Earl. Oops. Now, once you're married and the woman has 2 kids of her own, biological kids, and those kids are under the age of 18 at the time of the marriage, or 21 at the time of the marriage, you've got to be legally married to your husband in order for those kids to be considered stepchildren. Okay? Has to. And as long as they're stepchildren, they will, in the eyes of immigration law, for the most part, be treated the same, to some extent, as a biological child. Now, hope that is crystal clear. So you must include unmarried, and they got to be unmarried, under the age of 21 on the date you submit your entry. You must include all eligible children, even if they do not live with you, or if they do not intend to apply for diversity visa or derivative. Failure to list all eligible children is grounds for disqualification. If your child is a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, do not list him or her in your entry. Again, that is pretty much self-explanatory. And once you are satisfied, you read all of the fine prints and you click submit. And once you click submit, you're ready to go. And once you're ready to go, guess what? They will send you, you will get a confirmation number. Once you get that confirmation number, hold on to it closely, because you will need the confirmation number when you go to check your application. as of May 4th of next year, May 4th of 2024, you can check your application. On that day, all of you, whoever applying, all of the applicants can check their application status starting as of May 4th of next year. And it runs all into 2025, I think the mid part of 2025. So you could start checking May 4th, May 5th, May 6th, May 7th, all throughout every day until it ends. You never know your luck. You just don't know your luck. Take a chance. The visa lottery is for your green card once you're qualified. And we see here Sidel Fraser saying her picture not getting to load. It is not getting to load. And oftentimes you'll run into this problem. Your picture will not get to load because it's not the correct size. It has to be the correct size, 600 by 600 pixel. It's got to be, and it cannot be more less than, I believe, 50 KB. And it cannot exceed 235 KB. So you've got to read up on the fine prints. And that is how I have, over the past couple of days, been walking people through the process privately. A heck of a lot. I checked some messages, still about 50-something messages. I can't reach all. I just can't. That is why I've decided to do this. With the hope that some of you who inboxed me or messaged me that you haven't heard from me, it doesn't mean that you can't go and try it on your own as well. And I do hope that those of you who desire, to migrate, your intention is to migrate or to visit. When I say visit, to get your green card and to see other parts of the U.S. and maybe make it your home. Who knows? That's your final decision. Let me see here. Brenda Casey made a comment earlier. She said, Mark, it's only for a vacation, or is it towards being, yep, that question was answered, but I know at the time Brenda asked this question, I didn't get to it, but it's not for vacation. It is for permanent resident. Again, I repeat, this diversity visa is not a visitor's visa. Again, it is not a visitor's visa. It is how you can get an opportunity to migrate to the United States and acquire your green card. That is what it is about, how you can migrate to the United States and get a chance to acquire your green card. And you can only know if you are successful, for those of you who have intention, is if you apply. And again, let's go through the application process. It's very simple. Please share this information with your relatives or friends who have interest in applying for a green card, but don't have anybody to petition for them. This is an opportunity to apply through this lottery, this diversity visa lottery program. Let's go.
Greetings, everyone. Here's a step-by-step process for diversity visa program. So to apply for a DV, simply visit the website dvprogram.state.gov. Here are all the details to apply for the DV program. Anyway, let's first check our photo. See examples here. So your photo needs to look like this. And here are all the details. Make sure the photo is sharp and good quality. Size and position, make sure your photo size is 600 by 600 pixels and is more than 54 KB. You can also use this photo tool to crop the image to the right size. Anyway, after this is done, click on Begin Entry, enter the CAPTCHA, submit, and fill the basic details. Your last name, first name, don't have a middle name, choose a gender, add your birth details, city you were born, only the city name. If you do not know, take it here. Country where you're born, country of eligibility, applying from the same country I was born, upload your photo, and a mailing address, or you can also use a PO box, in care of the name of a person who can receive this mail on your behalf, but it is optional. Write your address or PO box, city, district, country, province, postal code, or tick no postal code, country, where you live today, phone number, email address, your highest level of education, marital status, and a number of children. Now recheck all the details as it is very important to provide the correct information. After verification, simply click Submit. So you have successfully applied for the DV program. And here is the confirmation number that will be needed to check the DV result. It is
All right, so that is a step-by-step process. I know that a lot of folks, again, they have problems with the size of their passport size photographs. Be very, very careful, guys. Very careful. I do hope that this information provided some help in how to get this thing done. Again, it's very simple. Uh, the final decision is up to you to decide on whether you are going to apply or not. Uh, at least I wouldn't be saying to individual, yes, apply. The final decision is up to you guys. And this is not for a visitor's visa, mind you. The application process for a visitor's visa remains the same, that you apply through the on the website, and all applications are submitted and interviews done by the U.S. Embassy, not by anybody else. Don't let anybody outside of the norm, so to speak, tell you that you have to pay them money for a visa, or if you give them money, they will help you get a visa. They have a contact and these things. That by itself is an illegality. And anytime someone brings that level of conversation to you, ensure that the red flag is up right away. No one has any contacts into any embassy or anywhere to ensure that you get a visa. No one. So don't fall for that by anyone. Now, Morna, usually, good morning, Morna, is asking, is there a filing fee? Good question. Good question. Is there a filing fee? There is no filing fee at all. You do not pay for the application. Now, there might be someone who tells you that, look, uh, they might help you, or they got some visa application centers in Guyana and so forth. I don't know what they do. I don't know what their transactions are. And it's not for me to uh, say what people do and how they run. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. But in response to Grand Morna's question, the application, to file the application is free. Now, if someone helps you out with the application and they tell you that you got to give them a little raise and thing, that's between you and them. I don't want to get involved with that. But the dozens of folks that we have already assisted, we have done that free of charge. And we are exhausted at this point in time, totally exhausted. Hence the reason we are saying this process, you can do it on your own. So the filing fee is free. Thanks for that question, Grand Morna. Carrie Mariah is running. I don't know if Carrie Mariah is running to apply or whether that's a political statement or not. But Loretta Marcus is now joining. Good morning, and we're glad that you're able to join us. This here, just a final reminder that the application for the 2025 Diversity Visa Program, which is an opportunity for you to get your green card. Everybody knows it as green card. That is what this Diversity Visa Program is all about. And it is currently open. It ends by midnight tonight. by midnight tonight, that's it. So whatever you got to do, whatever decision or decisions you have to make, if you have a legal spouse, ensure that it is done today. You cannot have it done tomorrow. The deadline is today. Today is the deadline. If you don't have any further questions, feel free, because I may just pull the curtain down. But if you can share this video with others, I'd appreciate it. And I'm hoping that it is helpful to those of you who have questions and concerns. One of the things that we want to be able to do is to break these things down for you in very simplistic form and with no consultation fees attached. It saves you the benefit. It saves you the benefit from going and probably calling a lawyer, because lawyers are there as well too. It's a business, mind you, but we do things differently, and so we believe that there are lots of information out there that people should know about, especially immigration matters. Thank you, Jason Benjamin, for sharing. Oh yeah, Carrie Mariah saying, run from those who want you to pay. Yep. Good morning, and good morning to you as well. Run from those who, tell you that if you pay them, they will help you to get a visa. Red flags, right away. Red flags, run. Run as quickly as possible. Run. Red flags. It's very simple, and oftentimes if you Google or you get on probably to the right person who will give you the exact information that you're looking for, and not lead you down a path of destruction. I wouldn't want to see you guys mess up in an application or whatever. And feel free to call me for any advice, as long as I can share that information or share my opinion with you guys. I will do so. But again, remember, the final decision is up to you. This is not a program that I am giving legal advice. I am not in a position to give legal advice. I'm just sharing information with you guys. And the final decision is yours. Like someone called me and said that they have their visa was revoked, and they want to know, or canceled, and they want to know if they can reapply for a visitor's visa. The first question I ask, why was your visa revoked or canceled? Oh, they had a slip that was given to them and they ripped it up and threw it away because they were frustrated. It doesn't work like that. You have to know why your visa was canceled. They will give you that slip to say whether it's section so-and-so. Keep that information with you because it is very helpful. There can be a multiplicity of reasons why someone's visa was either revoked or canceled. And it will give the person whom you're seeking advice from a better idea as to how to give an opinion or an advice on how to go ahead. In a situation where it's blind, you don't know why your visa was canceled, you got angry, you throw away the paper, it's difficult to move forward from there. It's not impossible, but say for example, if there's a immigration infraction that you came to the US on a visitor's visa and they caught you working, they can restrict you. Of course, once you're caught, they will take their visa back because you're not supposed to be working. And if you're coming on a visitor's visa and you're sending money through Western Union every week, you were here for 2-3 months and you're sending Western Union or MoneyGram, you call it, very careful. That's a red flag. And so the question the person asks is if they can reapply for a visa. If there is no ban, if you're not on a 3-year, a 5-year, a 10-year ban, or that ban has expired, meaning restricting you from entering the US for 3 or 4 or 5 years or so, you can reapply. And it's basically a chance you're taking to reapply. Don't let anybody tell you that they have any contact and just go in and you're gonna. It's a chance that you're taking. You just don't know your luck. If you feel comfortable, you go right ahead and do it. I'm not going to say go in tomorrow, go in. You go right ahead and do it, as long as you are qualified to apply for a U.S. visa. Somebody's asking Carrie Mariah again, or overstayed your time. Yes, if you overstay your time, you will automatically become out of status, meaning illegal. Back in the days, we used to say illegal. Well, good morning, Hilman Victorani. Victorina? Okay, yeah. And Charlene does it in there, right? So if you overstay your time, you are considered out of status, meaning you are illegal. And if you overstay your time beyond 90 days or so, I believe the time that if you overstay your time beyond that, then it simply means you you stand a chance of getting that ban. So if you return to Guyana, you will be banned. But if you leave within a time frame, you stand a good chance of not being penalized for that. I think it's a 90 days after your visa, your 6 months expired. Now, the other thing that I wish, and we've gone off from the visa diversity program, is that when you get a visitor's visa and you're coming to see Uncle Jason Benjamin, Auntie Brenda Casey, Auntie Morna, Grand Morna, Auntie Carrie Mariah, and so forth, when you're coming to visit folks, and this is very important, that is why it's called a visitor's visa. You're coming to visit. And when you arrive at JFK or Miami or wherever it is, and the immigration officer stamps your passport, boom, and you look at it and you say, wow, they gave me 6 months. They gave me, how long they say you could stay? Oh, they gave me 6 months. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't mean that you have 6 months to stay in the US. What that means is that you have until 6 months, of which within that time frame you have to leave. If you stay a day over that 6 months, you are out of status. Out of status. Immediately out of status. So they gave you that 6 months, not to say you got 6 months to spend in the US, vacation. And yeah, girl, they give me 6 months, mean that you got to spend almost close to the 6 months. Nobody goes on vacation for 5 months. Nobody goes on vacation for 4 months and 3 months and so forth. So you want to keep it within a reasonable window of 3 weeks, maybe a month the most, because people do earn their vacation and so forth, maybe a month and a half, 2 months, but don't bring this 4, 5, 6 months thing. And then when you return 1 month after you're coming back again to spend another 4 months, those are red flags. And it may not, if you're lucky, it may not affect you immediately, but it may affect you when you reapply for your visa. It may affect you. And some folks may find themselves in problems that when they arrive at the airport, let's say JFK, and the immigration officers see here in this in your passport that you spent 5 months not so long ago, and then 1 month after you coming back again, the immigration officer has that power to cancel your visa right there at the airport. So be very, very careful, guys. If you're coming on a vacation, come on a vacation and go your way. Now we know how the process. Some of you might stay and, stick around with a little cousin and stuff and walk around and drive around, go Barbies and things. But be very careful, guys. Be very careful. Things have changed and the people have ways of knowing things. Apart from some snitches who might be around you guys, people might call and say, Daphne, walk in, right? Be very careful, guys. Your visitor's visa is just to visit and not for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, or a short space of time. Gosh, I didn't realize that I was going to go for this long. Colette Adams is asking here, and this is not a program to give legal advice, mind you. I'm not giving legal advice. We're just talking. I might be a bit knowledgeable about immigration law, but I'm not 100% expert to give you guys advice, and neither this is in no way legal advice to you guys. Okay? Um, Colette Adams is asking, when applying for the DV program, can you put your children's names who are above 21 years and are married or unmarried? Good question. If they are married, I believe there is a section that you could just click out not applicable or not apply. Or once it's not applied, just click on that box. If your kids are, if your children are US citizens, if they're living in the US, they're US citizens, or they're permanent residents, don't just click on not applicable. Don't put their names there at all. And they have to be under 21. If they're out of the house, if they're not living with you or whatever, you still have to put them. But again, it's pretty self-explanatory. Whatever doesn't apply to you, just put not applicable, not apply. Just do that. I hope that answers your question, Miss Adams. If there's no further questions, none whatsoever, I thank you guys so much. And again, the visa program expires today. It's done with today, the deadline. I think it's until midnight. So you still have a couple hours to get a proper passport size photo and give yourself an opportunity to come to America and live like Jason Benjamin, live like the Brenda Casey, live like selected Jamal Marcus, live like Karai, Mary, and Charlene, and all these people who are living the good life, and Morna, Grand Morna, live like them. They are living the good life in America. Yadika Garcia and all of them living the good life in America. Trust me, they are. Rashley Ford and all of them living the good life in America. Don't deter anybody. Let them come and take a chance. Let them come and take a chance. They want to. You can't blame anybody. You can't tell them over here hard. You know? Let me see what else. Any other question? Otherwise, I'm going to go my way. I know you guys were thinking that it's politics. Yeah, why? Politics, lots of things happening. You know, politics, and I changed my mind. Right? It's about the diversity visa program. Today is the final day. You can apply. And the process is very simple. If you have questions about anything else as it pertains to, let us say, outside of the diversity program, if you are seeking asylum, feel free to give me a call. If you are seeking family-based visa, if you are in the US, of course, and you want an adjustment of status, in order to get an adjustment of status, you have to have a petition in. You cannot have an adjustment of status when there is no petition. And if someone petitioned for you, for example, if your husband petitioned for you, but you here illegally, meaning out of status, don't panic. Through the adjustment of status and the applications, you are going to be very straightforward. I know of some situations where folks have their visas back, their interviews back in Guyana, and they just don't know what to do. But if you have your interview in Guyana, I'll tell you this, it's a 50-50 chance you going there if you've overstayed your time. They are going to take that into consideration. But the final adjudication, the final decision is up to the interviewing officer. I don't want to deter you guys, but it's always better if you file for an adjustment of status, or if you are going to file, you ensure that on your I-130 application you put, are you going to be seeking an interview within Guyana or outside of Guyana? In other words, they ask whether you will be filing for adjustment of status. If you have intentions in filing for adjustment of status, click that box and say yes. Do not complicate things at all. In terms of marriage now, the people look for bona fide marriage. What is a bona fide marriage? Um, let us say Carrie Mariah is married to, let's see who she can get married to here. Let's say she gets married to Selector Jamil Marcus. It might be a mistake, but let us say she gets married to Jamil Marcus. The marriage there must have evidence that it's a bona fide marriage and that it's no fake marriage and these sort of things. Because if they find out that it's not a bona fide marriage, that it is fake, you run the risk of being deported or being placed in removal order and banned for at least 10 to 15, or it could be a lifetime. Ensure that if you are going to be involved in a marriage for immigration purpose, that it is bona fide. It is bona fide. And not a situation whereas, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Ensure that it is bona fide, because when you go for that interview, they want to see the evidence. They want to see joint bank account. They want to see you guys on the insurance. They want to see you guys together on the lease. They want, or whatever it is, they got to see the evidence of that sort. Don't say we ain't do nothing yet. They want to see photographs. They want to see that lifestyle of a married couple. They want to see that lifestyle. And if in their mind they're not seeing the sort of evidence, then they can reject your application on the basis of the marriage not being bona fide. And now there are some cases that it can be bona fide and you don't have a joint account, you all have nothing together, because they get some men, I've been putting sheep on nothing for me, boy. Or some relative might say, don't put sheep on nothing, or vice versa. The woman might marry the man, he ain't get the green card yet, she might get me putting sheep on nothing, me thing, and all these things. But, just be very, very careful with that, about that. Now, there's another thing before I go. And good morning to Donna Brown Harcourt. Good morning to you, Donna. Good to see you. The other thing here is that if, for example, someone files for you, your husband files for you, and halfway through the application, he ain't like what going on, that he saw some text message with you communicating with Bobo and so forth, and he get vexed. How men stay, right? Because get vexed quick, the bomb says raised. And he says, look, me ain't going through this application, me get time with you. And that husband is abusive, or there are some abusive women as well, physically and otherwise. Don't panic. It doesn't mean it's the end of your application. Because they get some people like to wave it over your head, right? Oh, you best behave yourself or else I can pull this application from you. They cannot threaten. The law says, immigration law, they cannot use that against you. They cannot threaten you. Either a husband or a wife, they cannot threaten you or abuse you in any way, shape, or form and say that they are going to discontinue this application or this petition, mind you. They're not going to succeed because your application can still continue. You have to have a ground of which to say there has been abuse, or this is the situation, or my husband trying to use this against me, or my wife trying to use this again. It's not the end of your application. Do not be fooled, do not be threatened, and do not be held at ransom. The other thing that I can deal with for you as well is your citizenship. Remember, Trump the other day, Trump said, and you guys got to pay careful attention, Trump is going to be ruthless. This is what Trump said. Trump eyes, and take a good look, Trump eyes radical immigration shift if elected in 2024. Radical immigration shift if elected. Don't take these things for granted, guys. If you are a permanent resident and you've been here for over 5 years, or in the case with some married women who are married, they're they're qualified to for citizenship after 3 years. If you're here for more than 5 years and you have been residing here without cutting that 5-year period, like you live 6 months abroad or 7 months, but continuously for 5 years, file for your citizenship. File for it now. It opens lots of doors for you. Today is voting day. You should be out there voting. File for your citizenship. If you run into any little problems these days, they want to deport you. File for your citizenship. Do not be cheap about it. The application form, I believe, is about $700 or $725. It is worth it. Again, it is worth it. File for your citizenship. There are lots of cases that people are citizens and they don't know. For example, if a child comes up and his US or her US mother or US father filed for them, and they reach to the US before their 18th birthday, it's called derived citizenship. You derive citizenship from your US citizenship father or mother who petitioned for you. And you can apply for a US passport or to get your certificate of citizenship. You don't have to wait, but you have to give the evidence that you were here before your 18th birthday. Before your 18th birthday. I know they have folks who give you all the royal runaround about that, but the process is very, very simple, and it's worth a shot at it. What else it is that if your visa revoked based on overstaying, and if you have overstayed and somebody petitions for you, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. You have to pay $1,000 fine on a separate application if someone petitions for you, that is. But if you are married to a U.S. citizen and you're filing for adjustment of status, which is the form I-485, you don't have to. There's a supplementary form that you have to fill out, which is the I-485A, I believe. You have to fill that out as well. And you have to say that you are here, you're out of status. But if your spouse filed for you, that $1,000 is waived. It is waived. And if you are under the age, I believe, of 14, your $1,000 is waived as well. But if you're an adult and you're filing, someone else files for you, like if your child files for you, you have to pay that $1,000 fine. It's a bit tricky because if you have entered the U.S. Through an illegal you came in an illegal port of entry, that you didn't come through the right channel, so to speak, and there's no I-94 form, there's nothing for you, then that may pose a serious problem for you. May pose, mind you, a serious problem. And that is where you go to a lawyer, and the lawyer may charge you an arm and a leg and tell you all sorts of things. And it's okay. That's what lawyers are there for, to tell you things. It is up to you. But I just walk you through that process. Some of the things that we do here is asylum cases. We do family-based. If you want to file for, if you have a U.S. citizen son or daughter and they're over the age of 21, they can file for you. They can file for their parents. They have lots of other things, such as if your children are over here out of status, illegal, there's another process that they can take if they wish for their residency, which is called, but you have to have your children become what is called a guardian. You got to get a guardianship, and then it's a form I-360 that they just claim abandonment and so forth. But I don't want to get into too much details about that. But for now, I guess that answers some of the questions that may be lingering through your minds. Again, this is just about sorry, this is just about, yeah, this is just about my opinion, and this is no legal advice to you guys to go and do anything. But if you wish to talk more about asylum cases and how you can file your asylum application, or file your I-130, or file for adjustment of status, or file for your citizenship, feel free to give me a call, 917-714-1082, 917-714-1082. You don't have to think about, oh, consultation or whatever. Just call me. All right. That's it for that. I'll be back later on with politics, though. I know you guys, I never thought I would have been for this long. All I wanted was to talk about this here, the diversity visa program. It ends today. Good luck for all of you who will be filing your application. And again, I leave you guys with the information on how to file. And with that said, I just wish you guys a blessed day and continue to be safe in every way, shape, and form. And all of you who tuned in today, please share the link for your friends and your relatives. And all of you are welcome. Again, I leave you with this process as to how to apply for your diversity visa, which ends today by midnight today, Tuesday. It ends today. And the process is very simple. God bless you and good luck to you.
Greetings everyone. Here's a step-by-step process to apply for diversity visa program. So to apply for a DV, simply visit the website dvprogram.state.gov. Here are all the details to apply for the DV program. Anyway, let's first check our photo. See examples here. So your photo needs to look like this. And here are all the details. Make sure the photo is sharp and good quality. Size and position, make sure your photo size is 600 by 600 pixels and is more than 54 KB. You can also use this photo tool to crop the image to the right size. Anyway, after this is done, click on Begin Entry, enter the CAPTCHA, submit, and fill the basic details. Your last name, first name, don't have a middle name, choose a gender, add your birth details, city you were born, only the city name. If you do not know, take it here. Country where you're born, country of eligibility, applying from the same country I was born, upload your photo, and a mailing address, or you can also use a PO box, in care of the name of a person who can receive this mail on your behalf, but it is optional. Write your address or PO box, city, district, country, province, postal code, or tick no postal code, country, where you live today, phone number, email address, your highest level of education, marital status, and a number of children. Now recheck all the details, as it is very important to provide the correct information. After verification, simply click Submit. So you have successfully applied for the DV program. And here is the confirmation number that will be needed to check the DV result. It is highly recommended to print the space. So this is how you can apply for DV, and you do not need any third person or pay to submit DV application. The chances are equal whether you pay or do it yourself. Thank you very much.